You know what nobody tells you about change? It doesn't happen the way you think it does. We're all waiting for that big moment, the breakthrough, the grand gesture, the life-altering decision that finally transforms everything. But while you're waiting for thunder, you're missing the rain that's been falling all along. Let me tell you something that might frustrate you at first, but stick with me. Your entire life, everything you'll become, everything you'll achieve, every version of yourself you'll grow into, it's all being decided right now by things so small you probably don't even notice them. I'm talking about the tiny habits, the invisible choices, the things you do without thinking that are quietly carving the shape of your future. Think about water hitting stone. 1 drop? Nothing happens. 100 drops? Still nothing visible. But give it time. Give it years of those same quiet drops, and suddenly you're looking at canyons. The stone didn't stand a chance. It just couldn't see the transformation happening. That's you. That's all of us. We're being shaped right now, and most of us have no idea by what. Here's where it gets interesting. There are people who seem to grow effortlessly. They're not stressed. They're not burning out. They're just steadily becoming more of who they want to be. And then there are people stuck in the same loops year after year, wondering why nothing ever changes. The difference? It's not motivation. It's not willpower. It's that one group discovered something the other group keeps overlooking. So let me show you what those tiny habits actually look like. Because once you see them, you can't unsee them. And once you start using them, you'll look back 6 months from now and barely recognize yourself. First thing in the morning, most people reach for their phone. Blue light flooding their eyes, notifications hijacking their attention, cortisol spiking before they've even gotten out of bed. But here's what almost nobody does. They don't step outside and look at the sky. Sunlight, real sunlight, in your eyes, within the first hour of waking up. I know it sounds absurdly simple, but this single act resets your entire circadian rhythm. Your body has an internal clock, and for thousands of years, it was synchronized with the sun. Now we've replaced that with screens, and we wonder why we can't sleep, why our energy crashes at 2 in the afternoon, why we feel disconnected from our own biology. Just a few minutes. That's all it takes. Stand outside, let natural light hit your eyes, and watch what happens over the next few weeks. Your sleep deepens. Your focus sharpens. Your energy stabilizes. You're not fighting against your body anymore. You're working with it. And here's the thing about tiny habits. They don't demand much, which is exactly why they work. Take writing. Everyone thinks you need to journal for pages, pouring your heart out every morning. But what if you just wrote 1 line? 1 sentence a day. That's it. Maybe it's something you noticed. Maybe it's how you felt. Maybe it's just a thought that passed through your mind. There's no pressure to be profound or poetic. You're just showing up with 1 line. But when you string those lines together over months, something remarkable happens. You start seeing patterns. You notice how far you've come. You realize you've been growing this whole time without even recognizing it. I read my own lines from 6 months ago sometimes, and I'm stunned by how much my thinking has shifted. Problems that felt massive then barely register now. Challenges I thought would break me, I overcame them without even realizing when it happened. 1 line a day doesn't just track your life. It transforms how you see yourself. Now let's talk about your space, because your environment is doing something to your mind that you probably don't realize. Clutter isn't just visual noise, it's mental weight. Every time you walk past that pile of stuff, your brain registers it as an unfinished task. It drains you. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't need a whole day to clean. You don't need to overhaul everything. You just need 2 minutes. Pick 1 surface, 1 drawer, 1 corner. Clear it. That's the whole habit. Over time, these 2-minute bursts create a completely different relationship with your space. Instead of letting mess accumulate until it's overwhelming, you're constantly creating small pockets of order. And every time you do it, you're reinforcing a new identity. Someone who takes care of their environment. Someone who doesn't let chaos build. When your space feels lighter, your mind follows. Same thing with movement. Everyone thinks exercise only counts if you're at the gym for an hour, drenched in sweat. But your body wasn't designed to be sedentary for 8 hours and then crush itself for 60 minutes. It craves what researchers call movement snacks, small, frequent bursts throughout the day. 10 push-ups between meetings, a short walk around the block, a quick stretch when you feel your shoulders tensing up. These micro movements do something profound. They increase blood flow to your brain, reset your energy, and pull you out of that midday fog. You don't need to become a fitness fanatic. You just need to move a little, often. And over time, you stop being someone who exercises and become someone who moves. That shift in identity, it changes everything. But here's where most people struggle. They never pause. They carry stress from one moment to the next, stacking tension like invisible weight on their shoulders. They're exhausted not because life is hard, but because they never give their nervous system permission to reset. 1 minute, that's all you need. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Let your shoulders drop. Feel where the tension is holding and consciously release it. It's not meditation. It's not complicated. It's just a pause. A deliberate moment where you stop accumulating and start releasing. Do this a few times throughout the day and watch your baseline stress level drop. You'll react less. You'll live with more presence. You'll stop feeling like you're constantly running from something. And at the end of the day, instead of collapsing into bed on autopilot, ask yourself 2 questions. Just 2. What went well today? What can I do better tomorrow? The first question builds gratitude. The second builds growth. Together, they turn your day from something that just happened to you into something you're actively shaping. Over weeks and months, you stop feeling like life is a blur and start seeing a clear pattern of progress. Here's another one that seems too small to matter. Give 1 genuine compliment a day. Not forced, not fake, just real. Tell someone you noticed their effort. Acknowledge something they did well. Appreciate something about them. This habit creates upward spirals. It shifts their day, and in doing that, it rewires your own focus. You start training your brain to look for what's good instead of what's wrong. You become someone who uplifts, who notices, who leaves people a little better than you found them. Now, in a world obsessed with productivity hacks and multitasking, let me tell you something radical. Do one thing at a time. No tabs open, no phone buzzing, just full attention on what's in front of you. At first, it feels uncomfortable, almost boring, but the payoff is massive. Your work improves, your calm deepens, food tastes better, conversations feel richer, life stops feeling like background noise and starts feeling real again. Single tasking doesn't just make you more productive, it transforms how you experience every moment of your day. And if you really want to build resilience, here's a 30-second habit that seems absurd but works. At the end of your shower, turn the water cold for 30 seconds. That's it. Your body will protest. Your mind will scream at you to stop, but you stay. And in that moment, you're teaching yourself something crucial. Discomfort doesn't control you. You can stay calm under stress. You can do hard things, even briefly, even daily. Physically, it boosts circulation and alertness. Psychologically, it builds the identity of someone who doesn't run from challenge. Let's talk about your phone, because it's powerful and quietly exhausting. Those tiny moments of checking add up to hours you'll never get back. Set small boundaries. Turn off non-essential notifications. Charge your phone outside your bedroom. Set a screen cutoff at night. Each boundary gives you back something priceless, your attention. And attention is the most valuable currency you have. Where your attention goes, your life follows. Here's a habit that works because it's tied to something you already do: gratitude cues. Every time you brush your teeth, or make coffee, or turn off your alarm, name one thing you're grateful for. Just one. Over time, your brain rewires itself. It starts scanning for what's working instead of what's missing. Gratitude doesn't erase problems, but it changes how you carry them. Reading feels like it requires motivation, but it doesn't. It just requires 5 pages a day. That's it. Over a year, that's more than 15 books. More importantly, it keeps your mind in a constant state of growth. 5 pages won't impress anyone today, but a year from now, it will have quietly reshaped how you think. Once a week, spend 30 minutes resetting. Tidy your space. Review your priorities. Clear the mental clutter. This habit stops you from carrying last week's chaos into the next one. You start ahead instead of constantly catching up. And throughout your week, practice micro acts of kindness. Hold the door, send the text, offer the smile. These tiny gestures ripple far beyond what you see. They shift how others feel and how you move through the world. Finally, create a bedtime cue. Pick one small action that signals it's time to wind down. Tea, dim lights, a few pages of reading. That cue trains your body to rest. And better sleep compounds into better energy, sharper focus, improved mood. Everything gets easier when you're no longer half-rested. Here's what I need you to understand. Transformation doesn't happen in loud, dramatic moments. It happens in quiet, consistent choices that compound over time. A few minutes of sunlight, one sentence a day, 5 pages of reading, 30 seconds of courage. Individually, they seem too small to matter. You'll do them and think, that's it? That can't possibly change anything. But together, they change everything. The question isn't whether these habits work. Science has already answered that. The question is whether you'll give them enough time to show their power. Because here's the truth, 6 months from now, you're going to be somewhere. You're going to be some version of yourself. The only question is which version? The one shaped by distraction, stress, and autopilot? Or the one quietly sculpted by tiny, intentional choices repeated until they became who you are? Start small. Pick one habit. Just one. Let it ripple. Because the person you're becoming isn't built in the moments that feel big. It's built in the smallest moments you choose to repeat.